Welcome to our channel. My name is O'Brien and I would like to thank you for watching this video. If you find value in it, please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, please put it in the comment area below. Thanks again for watching. Tomorrow we have some economic data coming out, and the economic data is going to be the CPI, and that CPI number last month was a big market mover. The expected move was maybe 2.5% at that time, and the market went darn near 5%. I know that the Nasdaq 100 went down 5%. The S&P 500 went down a little bit more than 4%. So that was one of the times that volatility was understated. Most of the time, volatility is overstated. So what we're going to try to do is take advantage of what the market is thinking, right? So the market is potentially, a lot of participants in the market is thinking about, okay, what happened last month when the CPI number came out, and maybe thinking, okay, we're going to have a huge move again. So I want to take advantage of that and say that volatility is most likely overstated, and that we can potentially make some decent profits on us on a 1 DTE trade, even though the CPI number is going to come out before the market open or before we can get out of this trade. But we just think that it's not going to be as big as last time, and not going to be as big as the volatility is indicating. So let's break this down. As you know, we have criteria that we look at when we're doing a short-term type of trade, especially the 1 DTE type of trade that we're going to do right now. We look at the VIX and we determine, okay, what is the VIX saying based on the rule of 16? Right now, that's basically saying about 2% move. And then we look at the expected move here. This is the expected move that's Tastyworks is saying. Tastyworks is saying plus or minus 86. We look at the deltas, and then we kind of have our market assumption, right? You might be bullish, a little bit bullish, or you might be a little bit bearish. You might be, completely neutral, right? But regardless, we're going to do an iron condor, which is inherently neutral. We want it to stay in between our short strikes. But we can skew that iron condor to one direction, meaning that if we're leaning a little bullish, we can be a little bit more bullish on the put side by having a higher delta, or if we're a little bit more bearish, we can have a higher delta on the call side by being a little bit more bearish. Okay? So right now, the market is literally flat on the day. Right? We had the FOMC meeting minutes come out, and it was no surprise, as a member asked me this morning, I believe it was Patience. She said, what do you think is going to happen this afternoon after the Fed minutes come out? I said, I think it's not going to be market moving. It's going to be insignificant, because everyone knows what the Fed is thinking at this point, right? I believe Carlos talked about, we have all these different Fed members coming out almost every day, giving their opinion and so forth. So I don't think nothing's changed at this point. No data has indicated a change in what, in the Fed's, sentiment of the situation right now. But tomorrow's number, that CPI number, that could change the ball game, right? If it comes in flat or lower, then that's indicating to the market perhaps that inflation has peaked, and maybe we're going to have a less hawkish stand, a less aggressive stand of increasing interest rates by the Fed. But if it's more than expected, like it was last month, then we might have a big down move then again. But I'm betting that even though that's the case, that it could be a great number and the market shoots up, or it could be a bad number and the market goes down. Regardless of the case, I think volatility is overstated for that event, because people are thinking about what happened last month and nervous about that. So let's kind of break this down and see what we can get. Right. So I'm going to start off with going with the 5 delta furthest from at the money, and we're going to do a 20-point wide spread on this on this one DTE using the /ES. This is the S&P 500 index, and it's just like the SPX. You don't have to worry about being assigned. This is going to expire, and you can't get assigned unless you end the money at expiration. And it's 1256 contract base. It moves just like the SPX. You can adjust this any way you want, but the good thing about this one, if you have a smaller account, if you have to adjust it several times, whatever the case may be, you do not have to worry about the day trading pattern rule when you're trading options on futures. But you can do this same type of trade, the same kind of concept in the SPX. This afternoon, we're going to do it in the /ES. Okay? So I'm selling that 5 delta furthest from at the money here. Right? And then I'm going to go over to this call side. Get this to work here. I'm going to go over to this call side, and I'm going to start with selling the 5 delta furthest from at the money. And I'm just doing that to kind of set it up for everyone. We're going to do a 20-point wide spread. So we want to collect on our 1 DTE 20-point wide spreads or 10-point wide spread. If you're doing it in the SPX, we're going to try to collect at least $80. Right, so that's what it's going for right now is $80, okay, before fees and commissions. So if we do the percentage formula from at the money, you can kind of get an idea on how far we're away, and you can look at this expected move, right? So the expected move is 85. Let's start with the expected move. The expected move is 85 points. So I just say 85 times 2. That is 170. So 2 times the expected move is 170 points away. Right? So let's see how far this call side is from that 170 mark. Right? So we take the 37.65 and we subtract 170 from it. So that's going to take us to 35.95. Right? So that's basically where it's currently trading at right now. So it has to go twice the expected move before it touches this call strike here. Okay? Twice the expected move before it touches that call strike. If we go all the way down here to this put strike, this put strike here, and I just see, right? And we take the 34.30, that's the short strike here, and we just add plus 170 to it, right? So plus 170 to it, that'll take us to 3,600. So that's basically where we're at right now as well. So we're 2 times the expected move on both sides, right? 2 times the expected move. It's pretty even right now with less than an hour left to go before the market close. So now let's see what percentage is that? How far is that away on the put side? So we're just going to do the percentage formula. We're going to take this strike, subtract it from this price, and then divide it by this price. This is the last price. So I'm just going to take 34.30, and that just go to, we're going to subtract minus 35.99 and divide it by 35.99. Right? So that's 4.6% away. 4.6% away on the put side. And then if we go to the call side, right? If we go to the call side, and it's basically going to be the same, right? But we're just going to do the math anyway. We're going to take this strike and we're going to subtract once again from here and then divide it by this number. So I'm going to take this 37.65 and I'm going to minus the 35.99 and I'm going to divide it by the 35.99, and so that's about 4.6% away as well. So they're both even on the both sides, right? So, and if I'm getting the monies that I want, then I'm okay with this price, right? If I'm getting at least the 180 before fees and commissions. But if I had to adjust the side, if I had to kind of think of a side that I want to adjust, for me, I would adjust the put side. Why would I adjust the put side? The reason why I would adjust the put side, because the market has been going down every day recently for the most part. So I'm going to be the contrarian and skew my iron condor to be a little bullish, betting that even if the number is poor, the market is not going to go down 4.6%. So this is the chart of the S&P 500 over the last 12 months. right? This is a 12, this is a 1 year daily chart. So if you look at this here, you can see that we have went down literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So 6 straight days we have dropped. So I'm taking that into consideration, betting that the market has taken is kind of went down a lot already and factored in at least most of the move that would happen, or at least enough of the move that we won't be down 4.6% tomorrow, right? The number would have to be just horrendous before we drop that, in my opinion. So if I want to get a little bit more, I will skew my put side a little bit, right? So I just say I decide that I'm going to move my put side to the 34.40, 34.20. And this is the trade I'm going to try to get, right? So if we go here and we try to lock it at 180, we're going to send this here and we're going to see if we can get it. And we're not going to do more than one contract because we're trying to demonstrate how to do this, but also be vigilant about the process, right? Is we did two or more contracts yesterday. We're not going to do that today based on the situation tomorrow, but we still want to play this. We're not doing the one DTE 5-point wide like we normally do. Because of that, we don't want to have it be in a situation where we have all these short-term trades on and the market moves too dramatically and it hurts us. So this is what we're going to try to get filled on right now. The mid is we're trying to get filled at 180, and it's the mid is 180. So we're going to give it a quick second, and then we'll make a little adjustment if we're not filled within the next, let's just say the next minute or so. All right, so let's go back to this trade here and let's see where we stand. They have not filled us yet. It's basically at the 180 strike still, that mid, and I want to give it just another second and see if they will give it to us. Let's break down. Actually, I don't want the premium to come out of the market, so I'm gonna cancel this really quickly, and then I'm gonna do a similar order, and then once again I'm gonna bring up the put side a little bit because that's what I'm okay with, right? So I'm gonna bring this put side up to a 6 delta, and then if we do the math now really quickly, we take this short strike minus the last price divided by the last price. It was 4.6% away. Now we're going to be a little bit closer. So we take the 34.45 minus what is currently trading at 36.02 divided by 36.02. Then that's going to be 4.3%, right? So a little closer. And so what we're going to do is try to get this. We're going to lock it at, we're going to send to 190, see if they'll give it to us. And 1, 2, 3, it's no love there. Now we're going to drop this down and we're going to see if we can get filled at the 185, and no love there. And then we're going to go back over here, and now we're going to just get filled at the 180. Hopefully it'll give it to us to 180. So we'll take the 180 here, and then there we go, right? So we just got filled at 180. You could probably get filled better if you want to. I was more worried about the call side. So far, that's been the complete wrong side to be concerned about. But I do think since we've been down 6 straight days, that if the market does go down tomorrow, it's not going to surpass 4.3%. That's where we're at right now, 4.3, 4.4%. On the call side, when we put the trade on, we're about 4.6%. So it's somewhat semantics, but I wanted to be a little bit further away on the call side to deal with a big type of outstretched move. Most likely the whole thing is overstated, like we indicated, and the implied volatility is super overstated.